In this video, we're going to do cherries. Now, you don't have to take your cherries and blanch them in boiling water if you don't want to. I'm going to, because I'm going to use these cherries for cherry pie. So I'm going to dehydrate these cherries, but before I do, I'm going to blanch them just to soften the skin. I find that by blanching them first, they dehydrate a lot faster. So let's go blanch them. My water is brought to a rolling boil, and I turned off the stove because I don't want it to be rolling, boiling when I put my cherries in. So I'm going to let it calm down for a little bit, and then I'm going to dump my cherries right in. I'm going to leave the cherries in there for no more than 1 minute. One minute is up, and I dumped out the boiling water, and I'm adding cold water to my cherries. I'm just going to squish them around with my hand. Okay, now I'm going to dump off all the water. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut each cherry open and remove the stone. Now, you can get a cherry stoner, and I think that's the easiest way to do it, but I don't have a cherry stoner, so I have to do it by hand. Okay, my cherries have been blanched. I'm going to remove the stems. I'm going to cut them in half, and I'm going to remove the stone. Then I'm going to set them on the tray with the skin side down. Okay. It's so much easier if you have a cherry stoner. I'm looking for one. But this is going to make a great cherry pie. So this is why I'm dehydrating the cherries, so that I can make cherry pie. Okay, I finished stoning the cherries, and I sliced them all, and the skins are facing downward. Okay, the skin side down, that's really important. I'll put them in the dehydrator at 125 for about 15 hours. Now, another point that I want to make, never to do, never take a paper towel and dry your fruit like this. You'll be removing the nutrients. You want all that to dry right in it. So don't worry if you see that they're wet and everything, just leave them be. The other thing is, before you blanch your cherries, never take the stems off, because when you remove the stems, you open the hole and the juices can come out while you're blanching them. So it's always a good idea to blanch them with the stems on. And I'm going to put these in the dehydrator, and I'll show you what it looks like when they're done. Okay, it's been 18 hours on the cherries, and those 2 bags that we did filled 3 trays like this. Okay, and they've been in there for 18 hours, and if you notice, the tray is real sticky and there's syrupy all over the tray. Okay, and so I pulled all of them off the tray, and I put 1 tray here, and you can see they're still sticking together and they're still a little wet. So the trick is you take another tray and you wash it and you dry it really well. What I do is I usually put it right back in the dehydrator after I wash it, and the dehydrator will air dry the tray for me, so I know it's absolutely dry. And then I'm going to put my cherries back on the tray like this, sprinkle them all over, because I have a clean tray now. I'm going to turn down my dehydrator to 120 or 115 degrees, somewhere between 115 and 120 degrees, and I'm going to put my cherries back in there for another 6 to 8 hours, and then they should be perfectly dry.